This show is about two people giving their opinions. They are not experts on the matter. They are just people who want to have a chat. If you have any questions about morality or any other issues, please talk to a priest.
Yes or no? It is acceptable to wash your car on a Sunday or holy day if you enjoy it.
Well, I did have someone tell me one time that if you whistle while you work on a Sunday, then it's absolutely acceptable because then you're having fun. No,
Mary Poppins?
absolutely, that's absolutely not the case. This is a really good question because this really gets into the spirit or the letter. They say, okay, what is servile work? Okay, well, if I like it, if I enjoy it, then I can do it. And so I'm just gonna enjoy, digging a ditch in my yard. And this is actually a really good point. And I heard this about a story about a farmer in Iowa and an old guy. Everyone would know who I was talking about if I told you his name, but I don't know if you'd like that, so I'm not going to give his name. But anyway, he has a farm. He's surrounded by other farmers, and all the other farmers work on Sundays because they say you absolutely have to. There's the crops, etc. It's necessity. And he, from what I've heard, this is coming from a priest, so I think the story is pretty accurate. And this farmer said, "Nope, I'm just never going to do it. No matter what, I'm going to ask God to take care of me. I'm going to really obey the law of not working on a Sunday, and I hope that it'll work out in the end." And apparently, according to the priest from the farmer, that it has, and he's actually been more abundant and more blessed, in literal fruits than the people around him. And so that God has actually, rewarded him for not working on a Sunday. And I think that's a really good lesson to me. It's like, hey, sometimes you even need to risk a little bit and say, no. What is the spirit? What do they really want me not to do? And so I would say no, you should not wash your car on a Sunday.
Interesting. So I think it's a little more. So obviously I agree with everything you just said, right? That working on Sunday, you can't just, okay, I enjoy this, so it's okay, right? That's not the right thing to do. But I think washing your car is sort of a little bit more nuanced than, like taking farm work or mowing the grass or something. No one really loves that, right? You may enjoy it because you're outside and it's, not terrible and whistle while you do it. But it's still it's very clearly this is servile work. This is work that you would have a servant do. I think washing the car is a little closer on that fence. And so I guess my question to you, are you okay with hobbies if there's sort of work involved, right? Are you okay with home brewing on a Sunday?
Home drinking on a Sunday? No, I'm kidding. Yeah,
obviously. So let's just let's take home brewing. I think you'd probably be okay with home brewing on a Sunday because it's very hobby and it's fun, right? But that also, if you've ever done it, is relatively hard to do. You're lifting heavy things and it's warm and you're stirring and you know what I mean? There's a lot of work involved also. Mm-hmm. And so I think washing your car is much more of a, it's a fun thing. It's not something necessarily, if you see it that way, if you like cars like I do,
really?
Washing your car and making it look all shiny and stuff, that's almost more of a fun hobby type thing. And I think it would depend on your personal connection with that. If you don't see it that way and it's like doing farm work or mowing the lawn, then yeah, I think you should stay away from it. But if you see it as something fun or hobby or something that's not necessary, something you're doing, again, the letter versus the spirit. I think saying, well, lifting something and actually applying work is wrong on a Sunday. I think that is more, if anything, Pharisaical, right? Sort of too much the letter of the law. Oh no, so all these, it's funny. We were looking through the manual on our oven and they have a Sabbath mode where you can preset it and it will do its own thing on the Sabbath, I assume for Orthodox Jews, so that they don't have to push the button to turn the oven on because that would be work. You know what I mean? So I think we can go a little too far that direction. And
sure.
In my opinion, again, this is just opinion.
That's the letter, right?
Yeah.
But it's a really good point. So I mean, I think we're kind of agreeing actually on that. And again, everyone, as we said at the beginning of the show, talk to your priest about this because this is really nuanced. And a lot of these things are truly subjective. Like it's amazing. The more you learn a little bit about theology, moral philosophy, all these different things that it's really subjective. Like sin is actually really subjective. It is what is your conscience saying. It's not, some things are obviously, intrinsic, but not all things. A lot of things are, what are you considering it to be? Are you doing it for the right or wrong reasons? And exactly as you said, so the Jews, and that's what it's, Christ says it all the time in the Bible. Look, you're doing you're just following this. You're exactly, you're setting it in. Okay, Christ didn't say you're setting the wrong oven, settings, which you probably would have if they had ovens.
Well, so they like, the good example is his apostles were like peeling and shucking corn so that they could eat it, and the Jews were getting mad at them for that.
Right. Right. Well, and exactly. So I mean, but that's the letter. So if you just follow the letter in almost anything, then it doesn't. It typically leads to Pharisaical ideology, I suppose. But I mean, the Spirit, I guess, in my mind, the Spirit should be conservative. I guess that's how I think. So my thought process on really almost everything, and when you have a law or a even suggestion given to you by the church, when you talk of the spirit of the law, it's not like, well, it says
you don't look for the gray areas. No,
exactly.
I see what you're saying.
And we know people do that. And I mean, I'm sure we do it too. I'm sure I do it too. But I think we shouldn't do. I think my opinion is, okay, we should say, okay, here's what the church says, and we should really try to do our best. What is actually right? I mean, if you're going out on a Sunday and you're washing your car, and you're really truly like, this is just, it just gets my mind off of everything, and I just really love this, then it probably is fine. I mean, I don't know. Again, talk to your priest. That really is really, really tough. I mean, but I can see that. Like, I really can. I mean, but I think my point being, don't try to fudge it. Don't try to be like, oh yeah, I think I enjoy. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's fine because I'm whistling while I work. I mean, that's bad, because that's such a slippery slope. Because if you go down that road, you're going to go real quick too far. You're going to go really down this steep slope where you become, I can do it. No, I washed my car, so why not dig a ditch? Yeah, I guess I don't really have to, but I kind of have to. So it's even necessary survival work. So it's the same question as the farmer. When you say necessary, what does that mean? It's subjective, right? I don't know what necessary is, right? I mean, is it necessary to cook? Okay, what about cleaning your toilet? So you really do have to kind of decide what is necessary, and we have to decide that on our own. In my opinion, is you have to be really careful and really conservative and say, okay, I'm going to really try to do this as intended. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of in my mind what.
And I agree with you, right? If you're going through a bunch of mental gymnastics to justify it to yourself and your conscience, you probably shouldn't be doing it. My argument from this bit is washing my own car is something I enjoy so much. It's not really, I wouldn't even second think it. So.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess in the end, I kind of end up coming to your side, because I think if you really truly say, I actually enjoy this, and this is actually not work, and you're really being honest, it is subjective. It is, I think it's case by case. And again, my opinion, but I really also think that is in the most case, not true. I think most people don't really love it. Most people just try to say, okay, I have an extra minute. I love this. I love it. I just love doing this. And they actually don't. So
I'll just whistle.
Exactly. Whistle while you work. So I'm half with you. I think I'm still going to stick on my side and say that you should not wash your car. Okay. I could see someone convincing me that they can because they love it. But I think in general, I'd say no.
All righty.
And everyone, what do you think? Would you wash your car? Let us know in the comments. Do you wash your car? Do you whistle while you work on a Sunday? And if you comment yes, I'm going to contact the priest closest to you, and they're going to come and knock on your door and make sure that you're doing everything correctly. But, well, okay, me. Everyone, God bless. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me tell you, it's better than digging a ditch. There ain't no telling who you might be. A movie star, or maybe even a Indian chief. Working at the car wash. Working at the car wash, yeah. Come on and sing it with me, car wash. Sing it with the feeling now, car wash, yeah. Woo! Come some of the work gets kind of hard.